Hey, we back another one of them Thursday night things. Uncle Felix was with us all season last year. You might know Uncle Felix, Rhode Island, ranked over there on Instagram seems to be his platform of choice, or the ones, or the one that would deal with him. Shout out to Uncle Felix, so everything he has going on, and I always want to thank everybody that helps make this possible. Big shout out to, we're calling Pastor Pennington today. Pastor Pennington, Rally Point Men's Ministry. The only way to stand is together. Definitely go get this book, Through the Smoker, What Barbecue Can Teach You About How God Prepares a Man. Pastor Pennington actually just came up with enough money a couple weeks ago, and they donated 100 books up to the Rhode Island Department of Corrections, known around here as the AC of I University. Big shout out to Mark Wright. If you're looking to buy a home, give Mark a call. Big shout out to all the kids. We have to pay attention to what these guys are saying more. And you already know, if you're going to be around May 29th, get over there to Lincoln Woods. There's going to be bounce houses, candy apples, cotton candy, popcorn, free haircuts for the kids, DJs, free food. And it's also going to be bring your best dish. You could win $100, but they said the $100 ain't nothing compared to what the bragging rights are worth for the year. So the best dish, this cookout's been going on for 16 years, Felix. Imagine that, 16 years.
Jeez, good for them.
It started in a backyard. Oh, and another thing, if you go to Fed Hill Cookout page, you could register to win a limo ride to and from the cookout. It's going to be fields A and B. It gets bigger. Yeah, it started in not Federal. It started in South Providence 16 years ago. Mm-hmm. 6 friends had an idea. Let's have a cookout this year, and it was kind of a tribute for the people that weren't there, for the people that passed away along the way, whether moms, dads, friends, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and then finally it got so big they had to move it up to Lincoln Woods, and it's just been growing ever since. And 16 years strong, rain or shine. Yeah, shout out. There's a movement that used to be in Rhode Island called Fed Hill. They were a little rap group, they had skate teams, they made some movies, they went on tour with G Unit, they were on the Rockefeller tour, they performed up at the Worcester Centrum with Joel Santana, so
good for them.
Yeah, definitely having a local group, and some of their music is still pretty good. Go check them out, Fed Hill on YouTube. How you been, Uncle Felix?
Not bad at all. You?
Let me see. Oh, just doing my thing. It's been an exciting. The last couple of weeks have been very, very exciting. Everything coming out with the realignment. Talking about that. We talked about that last time you was on.
Yeah. Well, one thing I definitely noticed over these, I guess actually the whole off season is, and we were talking about a little bit off the air, that there's a number of Rhode Island kids who have committed to colleges this year. I mean, it's awesome to see. I mean, every day it seems like I'm getting some kids, sending me their pictures of them committing to a college. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. Fills my heart with joy. Love to see that.
Well, while you brought that up, let me load up this quick little video. Check this out.
Now it was written in 96. Go to Yellow's downtown to get my Nike kicks. Little roadies in my soul when I write these scripts. No matter where I go, I do it all our way. And I can't forget the bug on the highway. Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Swanati and Chachi, my brother H1 to see Roman Rock, tell him bring back the funk funker, J Sonic, Mechalek, and my man Joey Beats. You can catch me up at Snookers with Sneak Technique. Your boy App's doing good, hope I made y'all proud. Man, if Curdy Cut could only see me now. Saw Sturby at Jerky's, all my crew. At one point or another, rock RIU. Gotta say, if it wasn't for 90.3, your boy E might not even be an MC. Got so many friends from Prop to C-Town. Been so long, kinda hard to speak now. You know who you are and you know where I keep you. Keep this in mind till the next time I see you. From every flow to every show, I feel the Narragansett breeze till my memory goes. Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Oh shit. Rhode Island. Rhode Island. My second home right there. Shout out to my people. Vertigo. CR. Joey Wonk. Shout out to Japan and Fed Hill. Time Machine. My man Mark, aka Bomb Drop. What up, K-Nux? What's up, Evil? Crisis. Shout out to my man Evoke One. He made the apathy logo, man. You know we go back. Shout out to Ryan Gummersaw, Sarah Engel. Yo, Blob, where you at, man? Big up to Johnny J and Turkeys, Earn Doe, Jay the Pina, Sean Jackson, the Black Rep in the Met Cafe, Lupos. There's a lot of spots, man. That's a lot of good memories for me.
There you go, man. Shout out to all them kids, you know. Did I miss many? I mean, I think I got quite a few in there.
Yeah, I think this. You did. He did a great job with that, right? But I think there's actually even more. That's what I'm saying. It's it's crazy the amount of kids.
Yeah, man.
That have submitted, which is great. You know,
I had to have
because
the triple piece, the 3 championship rings up in there.
Oh yeah. We're waiting on another one. Hasn't come in yet. But
waiting on another one.
It's amazing because I started that Rhode Island ranked page because I wanted to get kids seen and so they can have a place to go check out the scores and highlights around the state. And my whole thing was Rhode Island is underrated and this and that would not get enough love, but I don't know if I can say that anymore because because they're definitely getting the love. Colleges are definitely paying attention.
Well, it's because they are working. It's the work that the kids are putting it in.
Yes.
No, we're still underrated. We're still not getting the love. But no, shout out to all the kids and all the coaches in Rhode Island that made that possible. We'll definitely play that again. And I like how it had the Rhode Island float. You know what I mean? It was all about Rhode Island. That was an artist that, he performed at the Strand. Apathy is his name. Another group. And he shouted out everybody. Gellers. Remember going downtown, getting the Gellers?
Wow. That brings back memories.
Yes, buying some Nike Cortez. Well, going. How about this? Let's go to Oneyville. Let's go to Tom McCann's, right, and get some Pro Keds with the fat laces.
Yep.
Did I go back on you? But yeah, man. Football's coming up soon. I'm hearing Hendricken's gonna look pretty good. Pretty healthy. If you ask Coach Croft, they'll be like, we're gonna, put the best guys we can on the field.
That's it. Like I said, they don't rebuild over there. They reload.
They don't rebuild. They reload. And I'm starting to hear a lot more and more. That kids just want to go play there now. So you'll always hear the recruiting thing.
Yeah, of course, but they've built themselves such a reputation, that if if you want to prove something, that's where you're gonna go play. And so I do they recruit? Do I know that 100%? No, I don't. But it's not. It's I don't think it's the way people think it is. I think they make too much of it.
Yeah, I think people, they read into the Men in Black thing a little bit too much, because I heard Hendricken has the glasses and stuff, and after they do the recruiting, they put them on and, spray the light. But, I think the sad part is instead of us figuring out a solution, we might see the demise of Hendricken and LaSalle in Rhode Island in the next.
Yeah, and that would be a shame, in my opinion, for Rhode Island sports, because what you do is kids aren't going to stop going to go play for Hendricken and LaSalle. It's just that we're not going to see what they're doing because they're going to be doing it in the Massachusetts League. You know what I mean? And that's a shame. Um, everybody needs to put on their big boy pants. You know what I mean? Man up and play the game. I mean, it's nobody's fault that Rhode Island is the size that it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Now we can do about that. But there's ways we can make everybody happy. I guess. I liked what they did with the Power Four thing. You come out with two champions out of the Division One. That's fine. What I don't like is what they're doing this year. I mean, that's a total debacle. You know what I mean? And then it's a shame. I guess that's it, right? They're not fixing it. That's the way they're gonna go this year.
That's it, man. This is your Division One. I mean, and the sad part is you got Bishop Hendricken and you got LaSalle, the two private schools, and then you had Central saying we'll play any Power Four situation there is,
Mm-hmm.
and you have NK, and then you have everybody else, and a recruiter, not Ryan McCormick, another recruiter said to me that what do they always say about Rhode Island? That you guys don't have the talent. You guys don't have a big talent pool. He said, and now you have a 4-team division and nobody wants to play the two big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And this idiot in the paper the other day said that you have Hendricken and you have LaSalle, and then you have a big gap, and then you have NK and Central, and then you have a bigger gap with everybody else.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I mean, he does know. For example, St. Ray's beat NK last year. You know what I mean? Central had a few losses. So I mean, that dude's just a clown. It's a shame that he is our representative for the quote unquote, paper of note in Rhode Island, the Providence Journal. But it is what it is. We're stuck with him, I guess. Um, so we're gonna have to put up with stupid things like that being said.
Yeah, and like I seen him make a comment about something. He was talking about a parent from an East Greenwich Hendricken game, and no matter how bad parents can be at times, I have never even crossed that line to insult a parent. Watch
The
this.
dude,
Then he made fun of me and how much money I make, which was hilarious because he was way off. And I just thought it was funny because he was wearing like New Balance dad shoes. Meanwhile, I got a pair of Jordan lows on, and he's like, he's making fun of me. So,
Just the bare disrespect of that alone. Never ever have I ever said anything
it's
about a parent.
spoken like an insecure douchebag. You know what I mean? He's gonna make fun of somebody because of sneakers they have on. He doesn't know that parent's situation, that his financial situation. You know what I mean, or anything like that. But again, it is what it is. He's unprofessional. You know what I mean? I've had my run-ins with him on Twitter. You know what I mean? He's tried to shut down my Instagram page there that I put out for the kids. You know what I mean? I'm not making any money out of it. It takes time to do that. You know what I mean?
Like
And
you need more people sending shots at you, trying to shut you down.
yeah, exactly. And here he is. I'm just trying to give the kids a platform. You know what I mean? Show off their highlights, show some scores, this and that. And here he is trying to shut it down. Like he's an idiot.
One thing that I thought was funny, he said, here it is.
Division One was named after a player. If you called it the Quiddy Pay Division, nobody would be chirping about this. The administrators don't want to do it. So a lot of people want a bigger Division One. The bigger problem, I think, is that the fact that they named these divisions Division 1, 2, 3, it would be easier to understand, easier to take, and you would go with it. So,
I mean, just the same sheer fact. Oh, let's name it after Quiddy Pay, and nobody would say boo. I was like, it would like why? There've been other, and to say call Quiddy Pay a legend, which legend I thought right is past tense, right? Legendary would be if you're still alive. But even so, how about Mike Cloud? How about guys that have 200 wins in this state? There's only 4 coaches. Like, let's name it after somebody that did something already. Respect to Quiddy Pay. He's in the NFL.
No, of course.
I mean,
still,
great kid. But
obviously, he was a great high school player, but he's still writing his story.
Yes, exactly. But just to say that if we would name it after Quiddy Pay, nobody would say anything. We still have 2 teams in 4 teams, basically. Yeah, in Division
Well,
One.
this guy, Rube has proven he's just gonna kowtow to whatever RIL says anyway. You know what I mean? He's just the Mr. Go Along. You know what I mean? He's not doing any critical thinking. You know what I mean? Especially when that whole COVID thing went down. In my opinion, RIL handled it awfully. You know what I mean? And there he was singing their praises when I can't think of anybody else who was saying that that it was done smoothly. It was handled awfully, but he liked it.
Well, he liked it because his daddy told him he had to like it,
Yeah.
his downtown daddy. Just like he does an Instagram thing on the alignment, and he hated it, and then 2 days later, oh, you know what? This is actually a great idea because your daddy said you better not say that. You better not say that, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I guess he's
yeah.
worried. He's worried that coaches won't talk to him after games. He might have to call more athletic directors, I guess.
So if we did, all right, Tollgate right now, right? Let's get into it. Tollgate, Jimmy Stringfellow, the head coach over there.
Hmm.
Warwick tells him, we're putting a job out there. You can apply if you want, but we're going to go another direction. He gets the EWG job. Who's
Hmm.
the winner? EWG or Tollgate?
Well, obviously, I guess we'll see, but he didn't handle it very well at Tollgate, and Tollgate, it's a pretty big school. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but they've been in the gutter now for quite a few years. You know what I mean? And uh, I can't 100% sure say for sure if it's his fault, but he's the coach, so the Bucks got to stop there. He's got to bear the responsibility. You know what I mean? So just because he's moving down to a Division 4 to take UWG doesn't mean it's going to be any easier. As a matter of fact, I've coached in Division 4. I've seen what's going on in Division 1. If anything, you got to coach a little bit more in those smaller with those smaller schools, because you got kids playing both ways. You know what I mean? You can't. It's easy, and if you're coaching Hendricken, for example, and the kid screws up, you can take him out, pull aside, coach him up while somebody else jumps in the spot. In Division 4, a lot of times those kids, they're not even coming off the field, they're playing both ways, so it's pretty much you're required to coach more. You know what I mean? It's more difficult, that's for sure. So it's not a given just because he's moving down to Division 4 that he's going to have success. You know what I mean? So
No,
EWG, they got to keep an eye out on him.
we talked about this off the, you got to coach him up in Division 4,
Hmm.
you have the benefit in Division 2, Division 3, and Tollgate. Let's face it. I'm not going to pull the optics and say that they're a Division 2 team, because Division 3 is like the new 2.5. I'm not going to say that, but they are a school that should be in a bigger division because they're a very big school, and you have some kids there that can play football.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
had some
with the with
players
the
over
with
there.
the shared numbers, you know what I mean. Mathematics dictate that you're gonna get one or two or three good players, but they've been brutal the past few years.
And hearing I don't think he's gonna return the staff they have at EWG. So I'm sure Stringfellow is gonna bring in a whole new staff, and
Yeah, I wouldn't want those backstabbers around me. So
hey, there you go, exactly. And Coach Fortin has been vocal about that, and so is a lot of other people. Coach Fortin's definitely in a better position now, up at pro. But I think EWG is going to have a lot of rebuilding to do. They have some great kids coming back. Plowman, the Stanton kid comes back. I can't think of his first name. Coach Stanton's son, he's going to be coming back. So you're going to have about 9 to 10 kids returning.
mhm.
I could be mistaken, but you lose a quarterback.
Yeah, there's a quarterback. They lost the running back too, right? The
Hunter Mumford, yep,
Hunter Mumford
definitely.
gone. Yeah.
They lost the Hawes brothers. Matter of fact, one of them is going to UMass Dartmouth. Two
Mhm.
of them, the other two are going to Curry, I believe. Hunter Remington too today. Another UMass Dartmouth signing.
Really?
Yeah. They picked up Hunter Remington.
Oh, nice. Good for him.
I'm not sure if he's gonna be in the quarterback room, but I'm sure he'll probably be running back. But yeah, I mean, I seen a post that Coach McCormick had. It was a picture of a boat off the coast, and it said UMass Dartmouth Corsairs pulling off the coast of Rhode Island with key commitment pieces.
Yeah, you know what? He deserves a lot of the credit too for all these kids. In my opinion, getting recruited, simply because he's always been recruiting heavily here in Rhode Island, and UMass Dartmouth has, you know, they've benefited from that. You know what I mean? The program has been going up for the past 5-6 years. You know, they're at their pinnacle right now, where they won. What, they go 9-2. They won, the only team in New England to win a playoff game. You know what I mean? So he's showing that he's benefiting from getting these Rhode Island recruits, and I think, like anything else, you know what I mean. Like, teams will copycat you if they're seeing you uh, having that success, and I think that's what's going on. You're seeing a lot of other colleges say, "Hey, it's working for them. Let's see what they have there in Rhode Island."
Well, go back and do the history. Look at Salve Regina, right? When I forgot the class it was, but it was a very heavy Rhode Island class, and this was when Salve was on their big run. Um, yeah, they won a whole bunch of games. They had big Rhode Island, so UMass Dartmouth's doing that now, bringing in a whole bunch of Rhode Island kids, and really, I think that the URI, I think the people, the powers that be, said, "Yo, what are you guys doing?" Like, this is a team that's outside of Rhode Island, and they're beating us at our own game. Like, go out there and get some boys, because I never seen URI bringing this many kids in from Rhode Island.
Yeah, me neither. Brian signed a bunch. URI, obviously UMass Dartmouth. You know what I mean? The numbers are going up. You know what I mean? And kudos, like you said earlier, the kids deserve all the credit. They're working hard. They're putting themselves out there. They're being seen, and it's paying dividends now. They're on to the next level.
WPI has always been trying to put their foot in the market. I think WPI, the problem is over there is it's a $71,000 nut.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, there's some schools that come with a big nut,
and you don't realize it until you start getting that that paperwork in. You're like, oh my God, I'm paying all this interest. So you really have to. And that's why I think UMass Dartmouth sells, because it's a $30-something thousand school, and by the time you get it all.
And they're allowed, I guess, to give in-state tuition to Rhode Island kids, which is big, because when one of my kids went on a recruiting visit to Western Connecticut, and one of the things they were saying, it's tough to compete with the UMass for Rhode Island kids, because of that, because they're not able to give that in-state tuition. You know what I mean? So they do have an advantage there, but what schools like Western Connecticut shouldn't do is totally close off Rhode Island. They think just because they can't offer that in-state tuition that that they're out of the running, which is not true. You know what I mean? There's kids that are willing to pay a little more.
So you think we're gonna see, and not only that, like, it's crunch time now for these guys. Like, they're still digging in. I got the over under UMass Dartmouth about 35 Rhode Island kids this year.
So, what, they have 19 last year?
No, 25.
25. Oh yeah, so that's an easy. Well, that's an easy. Yeah, I think I get you. I think they'll be over that number.
I heard a rumor out of Tiverton that the younger Gaychuk is actually stepped away from football.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
they got
yeah.
a big quarterback room over there at UMass.
Yeah, they do. It's gonna be interesting there. I mean, Dante did a great job there. He was only a freshman, so it's gonna be tough to yank that starting job from him. That's for sure. He won't let it go without a fight.
No, definitely. A lot of these kids get that extra year of eligibility, so they're all going to take advantage of that. Shout out to Dante. I can't wait to see, and you know what? Seeing the pieces that they're signing up there at UMass, they got a good shot at nationals, right?
Well, first they got to win that conference, and it's a tall order because Framingham State is that's a special program there. I mean, they've won, I think, 10 out of the last 11 championships out of that conference. Um, so to win that conference, you're going to have to beat Framingham State. And from what I understand, they only graduated like 2 seniors or something like that. That's a low number. It's something ridiculous. So, but, you know, there's no doubt in my mind UMass will give them a run for their money. You know what I mean? I got uh, that game circled. I think it's week 3 this year when those two teams will meet. You know what I mean? It's a big game early on in the season.
Sorry about that. There's a spider on my microphone. You gotta go.
Hold on
And
1 second. Yeah.
yeah,
Um. Yeah. Check the fridge. Go ahead. I'm
definitely
sorry.
people share this stream. Listen, I want to do a little bit talk about some teams today. I want to start off with Mount Pleasant High School. Coach Addison over there. They struggle 20, 25 kids any given year. They're always in the playoffs. They haven't I was reading today that a good percentage of the kids there are non-speaking. They don't really speak English. They don't get the sports kids in there. What can Mount Pleasant do to try to build up their program inside that community?
Yeah, it's tough because those inner city schools, you get a lot of fluctuation in the roster because you got people moving in and out. It's very diverse. So you got a lot of people speaking different languages, so you have to deal with that. The key for that program and any program is you have to build a relationship with your local youth football teams. You know what I mean? So that's the way to build your program. And I would say no different for Mount Pleasant. They're gonna have to reach down to I believe it's the 49ers have a program there. There's a few other teams there. Um, that's the best way to build up your program in high school is to have that relationship with that youth football program.
And Mount Pleasant, for the people that don't know, it's very old. It's nothing like Central. I think the two programs are night and day because Central does have Providence Career and Technical right
Mm-hmm.
next door. It's a way to bring kids in. Mount Pleasant, the city of Providence needs to do something to try to upgrade that school.
Yeah, I mean that school, education wise, is like they're borderline losing their accreditation almost every year. Um, I'm not sure what's happened over the last couple of years, but I know a few years ago they were almost about to lose their accreditation for even qualifying as a high school. You know what I mean? So,
27% of their enrollment is through online schooling options.
oh boy, yeah,
That's a
that's
pretty big number, right there.
yeah. No, it's a mess, and it's also obviously a heavy burden on the coaches who are trying to run a program when it's tough. When you don't know what you have coming year to year or sometimes week to week. You know what I mean?
No, you're
You,
right. Because when
you
I look
also
at my notes from Mount Pleasant, I think they had 8 freshmen last year, and only one of them was in youth sports. So you say get involved in the youth program, where really it's not big in that area anymore. That Chalkstone Avenue area, that Academy Avenue area. He had 7 experienced players really for the first time last season, and he's still able to pull it out and make the playoffs.
hmm yeah, no, it speaks to his work ethic, I guess, and getting the kids ready. It's definitely an uphill battle, that's for sure. It's not an easy one. I don't envy those coaches there at Mount Pleasant or even at Hope. You know what I mean? That's another school that's traditionally has been awful lately, and there's so many variables of why. You know what I mean? It's you can sit here and do a whole show on the reasoning for it.
But Hope has one of the best feeder programs in the Cowboys, right? I mean,
But
we
that's
always
the thing. It's a great program, but those kids are being fed to LaSalle and Hendrick. You know what I mean? And
that's LaSalle's feeder program. They're like, oh,
yeah,
easy there, back off.
they
Shout
got
out
a
Hurley
ton there.
Perry over
So
there.
that's where you gotta try to instill some town pride or some school pride and try to get the kids to stay. You know what I mean? But it's tough because especially when you go on a visit to that LaSalle campus, I mean that's nicer than some college campuses.
Oh yeah, yeah, they have a beautiful place over there. Yeah, I mean, Hope they struggled last year. Look, Classical really like that game. Can't even talk about that. But EWG beat them 34-14. North Providence put one on them. You know, so Hope's definitely something that really got to be straightened out.
Yeah, they're struggling there, but the kids have heart. Like I remember, they did come up with a win. I think they beat Tiverton last year. That's who they beat, and the kids were all excited because I actually had a couple of highlights from their games posted on my page, and they were very excited about that because that's a team that's been struggling, so you don't see too many highlights coming out of there. But they were able to make it, and they let me know they were very happy about it.
Another school I have on my stock drop list right now is Situate High School, and I definitely have the stock dropping. Mainly, their head coach resigns after bringing in, he's been talking so highly about that program for the last season and a half. Coach Derek D'Souza, I heard they had 30 kids in the weight room. I heard they had a big class that was supposed to be coming in this year. They lose two freshmen, and they have presumably one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. Not the best, but growing. He's still young. He still has a lot of work to do. But what do you think about that? What are they gonna do?
That's gonna be tough. Again, they got a good football program there too with the I believe it's called the Titans in that area. Tri-Town Titans, yeah. So they have a good youth program. They do have a young and upcoming quarterback. It's just we got to see what's going to be there to complement him.
Give it to Eddie. Let Eddie Insko take over. Give him the keys to the building. Let him handle that. I'll tell you what. Eddie Insko takes over. I'll say it right now. Situate's in the playoffs. All right. I'm taking all money on Situate. Let's go. Situate's in the playoffs. I'm telling you today. Well, I mean, not for none, but that Division 4 is wide open. That it really is not a far fetch to say any of them teams because it's like new coaches everywhere. North Providence, new coaches. Tiverton, Bob Murray leaves. Dylan Sheridan takes over. North Providence got a new coach. EWG's getting a new staff.
Don't sleep on Davies over there.
No, Davies. No, exactly.
And they've been doing nothing but getting better over there.
And Davies is a school that can recruit, because according to the rules, Davies is the exception to the rule. They're the one school that gives them the exception to the rule.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a vocational school.
Yeah, it's a vocational school. And Coach Cabral has been getting better. Coach Cabral, Davies is definitely. I think Davies and Juanita Sanchez right now. You gotta really talk about them two programs. But I know a lot of kids in the city. They don't have to go to the school in their district in the city. What people are not realizing, kids could swap back and forth to them city schools. So is Juanita Sanchez going to lose kids back to Central again? Coach Nod brought a lot of them kids with him when Coach Nadim thought he was getting that job. So he didn't get the job. But that division could be wide open. Division 4.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting division to keep an eye on.
So let's go. Give Eddie the keys to that building. You're going to see Coach D, I think, popping up as an assistant coach somewhere. He's not going to stay away from football. Why he resigned, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of speculation out there, but it'd be immature for me to say anything, as to I just think maybe he realized that they're not going to let him build a program. You're not going to be able to bring kids in through pathways. It's.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's all assumption at this point, but there's a lot of schools that don't give the coaches the tools they need to build a program because unfortunately, it's not their priority.
No, you're absolutely right. Another school, Ponegantse stock drop. Do you think their stock dropped They lose a bunch of players, more than 12. I'll put the over under about 15. They're coming to Division Three. Division Three is a very strong division. I mean, there's some great games throughout that entire division on both sides, up and down.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely say their stock dropped because they're playing actually where they belong anyway. Even one of the biggest crimes last year is that Pontiganza played Division 4. But
That's right. There's several crimes this year already that,
yeah,
that top that.
season hasn't even started. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot of crimes going on. But yeah, I'd definitely say their stock has dropped. They lost a lot of key players. We'll see what they can do this year.
Classical high school, right? To me, I think, another team talk about stock dropping. I don't see how. Like, you make the Super Bowl, and everybody screams Chris McCall coming up with every optics, this and that, blah, blah, like, whatever. It just didn't make sense. And he said, where was everybody a couple of years ago when they put us up in Division 2 and we was only 2-5, when we didn't have a good program, but it don't make sense to see a team like North Smithfield stuck idling over there because they won 3 playoff games in 50 years. And your stock, you get to go down because of the optics, but North Smithfield don't get to go down because of the optics. So
classical to Division 3 is it's a shame. And as you win a Division 2 championship and then you drop down to Division 3 the following season, doesn't make any sense.
You can't even stand up and defend your title.
No.
Yeah, I mean, why hasn't Central and Classical played in like 5 years? 5 years, them teams have not played
That's a good
game.
Point. Classical, not to keep picking on them, they go over and beat up on Hope every year. Why not play Central?
What's that song? 100 miles and running. They running. Yeah, I love what they have going on over there. And speaking of Coach Washington, I just want to find this. They're going to be dropping something very, very soon. I think everybody is going to be excited about. But let's play this quick little clip.
I'm paranoid. I can't sleep with pockets deep. Got rest on me. Why they watching me? I'm pushing P. I'm pushing P. Pushing P. I'm pushing P. Yeah. Pushing P. Yeah. Pushing P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P. Pointers in the paddock in my piece. I'm pushing P.
Cop new hammers for my P. We don't want no peace.
Got a spot across the spot. Just for peace.
Drop the data, now we plotting. Exotic peas.
She not a lesbian for peace. She turned lesbian.
Push P.
I'm pushing P. I'm capital P. I write.
That white one is nice, man. Their uniforms this season, man.
That gray on gray is tough. I like that.
Yeah, man. Central's like, and Central's coming out there being like, yo, Mikey, he's talking salty now.
They got the best dressed coach, so why not have the best dressed team?
They got the second youngest too. He's our second youngest coach. Shout out to Mikey Washington. Doing his thing, man. But he's talking salty. He's coming, boy. He's coming. You know what? That game, Hendrick and Central, that crowd is gonna be like wild. That game's at Central.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it was such a great game last year.
Yeah, it really was. That's what I'm thinking of this year. Yeah, it came down to the last drive, basically. You know what I mean? Hendricken drove down. Shout out to Dave Lynch, led them all the way down there, and I believe it was Nolan who caught the touchdown pass in the front corner of the end zone for the win.
If I said Central got cheated, what do you say?
No, nobody got cheated that game.
I don't know. I was just wondering. I didn't say they did. I was just saying if I say it, what do you say? But that was a great game. I think that gave Hendricken their biggest competition of the season.
Yeah, it definitely was. The Super Bowl obviously was close, but the closest competition all year, was in state anyway. Was definitely the Central game.
Did it wake him up a little? Did it kind of make him say like?
It definitely did. Again, not to take away anything that Central did, but you got to remember Hendricken didn't practice that whole that 10 days or something like that, and to be thrown in into a game against a very good Central team and still come out with the win, that was impressive.
Central's good in there, tough. Like they play tough football.
Yeah, they do.
They don't play no games. Let's see another team. North Providence. North Providence getting a new football field this season, new uniforms, and a new coach. Does their stock drop or does it go up?
I think it might be going up. Not to knock that coach, but
Glenn Williams, huh?
Yeah. It seems like
a few people like to knock him over.
It seems like that program's been in the rut. You know what I mean? Stuck at the bottom for a little bit now. So maybe some new blood will do them some good. New football field. Maybe that brings in some new pride in the program. We'll see. They have nowhere to go but up anyway.
Yeah, North Providence, they never do anything from outside of North Providence, and I would use Stop and Shop as an example. You know what I mean? They always want to stay inside the town over there. Tiverton, Bob Murray's been there since 1971. He has over 200 wins, which I wonder what that figures out. I got to figure that out. But shout out to Bob Murray having over 200 wins. Now he's a guy that didn't listen to Kenny Rogers. He didn't know when to fold him. He should have left when Matt Gaychuk left, right? He should have went out with him. He didn't know when to fold. Respect to him. I mean, he does have 200 wins, but he has been coaching since 1977.
Yeah, I'm not going to be so hard on him. I think
this is all fun.
No, I know. I think he's not a bad coach. You got to remember too that these public schools, and Tiverton, being a small one at that, they have, they got to go through these ebbs and flows of talent. I mean, it was a blessing, obviously, to have Gaychuk over there. And I remember coaching against him. He had me pulling my hair out, and, obviously the talent has dipped, but it hasn't been so long, because, matter of fact, there was Coach Pennington played Tiverton 2 years in a row in back-to-back Super Bowls, winning one and then and losing one. You know what I mean? So it wasn't too long ago that they were right.
I'm still feeling it right now.
Yeah, they're pretty young because I know their quarterback last year was a freshman and he wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? So their stock is definitely going to be going up.
Interesting, very very interesting. How about North Smithfield?
Sell
There's a team.
Sell that stock.
Sell that stock. Sell it.
And again, it's no disrespect to Coach Piver. He's just stuck in a bad situation right now. You know what I mean? Letting that team play in Division III, and I think it was you that told me at the last count they have 22 kids on the roster.
Yeah. They said if they kind of grab every last resource, they could probably get to 22.
I don't know how RIIL can sleep at night letting that happen. God forbid a kid gets injured there. Somebody needs to be held accountable because obviously it's been made known to RIIL that, this is not right. And for them to still turn a blind eye and let it go, I think Coach Pive is, first and foremost, you got to worry about your kid's safety. And he's a good guy. I know him well, and I know that's his priority. If kids start getting hurt there, something needs to be done.
If kids start getting hurt, you're gonna hear it from the top of the mountains, from North Smithfield all the way across the state.
You know who's not gonna say anything? Your son over there at the Providence Journal.
Of course, his daddy will be mad. His other daddy.
He might say back though.
It was kind of funny the other day. He knocks Johnston and he knocks North Smithfield, right? He goes, the teams in Division III that want to go backwards, shame on you guys. You're only chasing titles. And then in the same stream, he says, you know who I feel bad for? North Smithfield.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you were just knocking them. And Johnston says they did not. request to go down. Me and the coach went back and forth on social media. He said, "Show me proof." I did not do that. I said, "I don't know what the league says. You did." But which I didn't understand why Johnston would request to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think their team's going. Another kid, two kids on their team. I think so far. I think Hunter Remington and the Achado kid's going to
He's going to
Santa
school. Yeah.
California, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep, he
Yeah.
was someone else that was in the video.
Yeah. Yeah. No, great athlete. He made ESPN, didn't he? With those back.
Yes, yeah, he really did.
You know what I mean? Shout out to him. He actually
Hopefully, Coach Blake's
he
not
actually,
listening
he
right
actually
now.
helped, he actually helped me put my Christmas tree on my car this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He worked at a shop where me and my wife went to pick out our tree.
East Providence High School going down to Division Two. From what I hear, East Providence has a pretty big team.
Well, yeah, you know what? And I love Coach Stringfellow over there. I think he's
The other one, right? The other
yeah,
Stringfellow, the
yeah,
cousin.
yeah. He he coached both my boys over at Hendricken on the freshman football teams, and he did a great job. I know he's coached obviously at East Providence in the past. He's a great coach, and he's gonna turn that program around. The key for East Providence is if they can keep their own players because they lose a lot of players to LaSalle. So, but with that new school there, the new football field, there's a lot of money being poured into that program. You know what I mean? If they can reignite some type of, towny pride over there, watch out for them in the next few years.
I remember when we were growing up, East Providence was one of them teams. They were one of them problems. You know, watch out for the townies. You had the Panthers, the Cougars were always,
Yeah, I
um,
remember they had Buddy
see,
Rogers.
North Providence was good at one time.
Do you remember Buddy Rogers from East Providence?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, he played at Maryland. I think he got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Allen kid was good from East Providence too.
Who was that?
Sean Allen. He
Oh,
was a real good quarterback.
yeah.
Who else they have? That Silver kid, Ricky Silver, Ray Silver.
That played for the Colts.
Mm,
Was that his name? His last name Silva? I can't think of his first
it
name.
could be. I'm not even sure. If I said anything, I'd probably be lying. And people too fast to call me out these days because.
But their stock is definitely on the rise. They got a great coach there. Their money's being poured into the program. Beautiful field. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I went down to watch them when they Hendricken early in the year, and I was very impressed.
That EP class of 01, they had 4 players that played professional in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
was pretty impressive.
If they can get back to that, which they might be able to, because like I was saying earlier, how LaSalle's facilities are, a beautiful selling point. So is East Providence right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Any place that brings in turf field would be a great selling point. But that East Providence definitely a great job. I'm trying to look up right now. The amount of kids, but someone told me a ridiculous number. I was like, wow, that's 70 signed up and 35th 8th graders already. So they're on point. They're on track to have over like what a buck.
That's good.
Division 2.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some great games this season coming up. West Warwick,
I'll be free this year to actually.
Yes, you're going to be wandering.
You're gonna feel a little funny not having a kid playing on Friday night.
Friday nights, man. I know it, man. You can go check out, West Warwick game, and then you can go check. They're gonna be in some new look this year for West Warwick. That's all I'm saying. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. I ain't supposed to say anything, but you might see something different from the Wizards this season.
Yep.
But any teams you're gonna keep an eye on, Felix?
Obviously Hendricken, the usual suspects, LaSalle. We'll see what NK can do this year. that quarterback, he's going to be a senior. Both quarterbacks, LaSalle and NK, those are probably the two best quarterbacks in the state. So it's going to be interesting to see, what those kids can do.
Yeah,
As
both
far as
kids
the
played breakthrough this year. Salute to both of them young men.
as far as the other divisions, East Providence is a team to keep an eye out. Again, I love Coach Stringfellow. I love what you do with that program. If they're getting those numbers that you're talking about, you gotta watch out for them. Um, we'll see.
How about Westerly Portsmouth game? That's going to be like the first or second week of the season. I
That
like that matchup.
Coach Dunbar is one, in my opinion, one of the better coaches in the state. Portsmouth's always got a good program, but Portsmouth's lost a lot. Benny Hurd is gone, and that kid was the he was the heart and soul of that team. But he graduated. Uh, so yeah, that'll be a good game to keep an eye out. St. Ray Stock, I would say, is going down. They've graduated a ton of talent. But they do have Moses Muse.
Moses Muse, they have back. Yeah, a lot of their kids are going. They're another team that got a lot of kids going up to UMass Stopman. Who is it? Napoleon, I believe, is going. The Barrels, yep, he's gonna be going. They
the,
really
the quarterback there, he's off to URI.
see St. Ray's had a stacked team the last couple of years. They should have won back to back. They should have definitely won
Well,
back to back.
I picked against them the year before last, and I was right. I called. I knew Barrington was going to beat them. Um, but this year, yeah, I had them winning this year in classical. Pulled off the W. But yeah, they were loaded the past couple of years, and unfortunately that window's closed now. So we'll see what they have coming back.
Yeah, they had a stacked team. They couldn't get it done. Stanley Dunbar, I love what he does, his halftime adjustments, and don't forget, he's got Zach Tuck, I think the best running back in the league, or at least one of the best running backs in the league last season, according to stats. The kid, he
Yeah,
was phenomenal.
he put up some great numbers. Kudos to him.
And he's huge. I just seen him like about a week ago. I'm like, yo, he was just at Brown too. A lot of these kids, man, and shout out to Dean. He's gonna be on the show probably this week talking about his Marshall visit. He went to Yale. He went to Marshall. I seen Eddie Bueller doing a junior day visit over at Brown. So we definitely have some kids going to college, man. So they working. These coaches are doing their thing.
They really are. They really are. They're stepping up their game, and Dunbar is a big part of that with that elite football thing that he does.
Yeah, the breakthrough, man. Them guys been traveling. Like he won a championship. He won the DC high school championship 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, good for him. Good for him. And then and that's not luck because those kids are working hard. I see it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And before I let you go, one other thing I wanted to talk about. It's been a pretty big topic. I saved it for the last. Shea High School, Coach Dino Camp. He puts out a petition, or his camp puts out a petition, saying that Pawtucket did him wrong. That this is what the petition said, that they should let him coach until he wants to stop. But he is the citywide athletic director. He knew about this. You know the story.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should coach until they want. That's kind of silly. You do see that happening too much. You know what I mean? But I here's my thing. He knew when he signed that contract to take on that new position that he would be required to let that to stop coaching. So it's not like this was snuck up on him or anything like that. So when I look at it that way, he basically doesn't have a gripe. He doesn't have a foot to stand on when it comes to that. That being said, um, you know, schools need to do what's best for their program and what's best for the kids. And I believe he is what's best right now for that school and for that program. Um, will Pawtucket, amend the rules and let him do it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Should they? I would say yeah. You know what I mean. But it's again, he doesn't have a foot to stand on to argue against it. He's basically left at their mercy.
Yeah, I don't think Pawtucket's gonna swing that way, and I don't think they should because there's rules in place for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And once you say that, well, let's bend the rules for him. And why do we have rules? And I know people say, well, there's checks and balances. We can keep it kind of even, but why do we have rules in the first place? And what do we teach someone about accountability?
I agree with rules, but one thing I don't like is when there's absolutes. There's exceptions to rules and things like that. We're not, we're not dumb. We can discuss certain things. It doesn't always have to be black and white. Like this is it. This is what it is. Each thing has its own set of circumstances and facts. And I don't think it'd be a bad thing to let the guy coach, especially if he's willing to do it, because we all know, it's a lot of work, obviously, to coach a program and also do the AD thing. You know what I mean? But if he's willing to try, yeah, I'm not against it, is what I'm saying. But I do understand the side of Pawtucket as well, saying that this is our rule. So he's left at their mercy. Whatever they decide, isn't.
Yeah, can't have your cake and eat it too.
No.
I stand, but I think he should
At the end
just.
of the day, we want to do what's best for these kids.
Right, and I think what's best for these kids is him being the athletic director and focusing on making Pawtucket better for better sports overall. Because not only you have the high school AD, you have the Tolman AD, you have the Shea AD, you have the middle school. That's a lot of hats. That's a lot of responsibility, a lot of sports. So 2 years goes by fast. 3 years, man. Before you know it, they'll be building that school. Just make Pawtucket better. I think that's the best thing for Pawtucket right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Felix, thank you, man. Again, let me play this quick video for people that didn't see it earlier.
Nows, it was written in 96. Go to Yellow's downtown to get my Nike kicks. Little roadies in my soul when I write these scripts. No matter where I go, I do it all our way. And I can't forget the plug on the highway. Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Swanati and Chachi, my brother H1 to see Roman Rock, tell him bring back the funk funker, J Sonic, Mechalek, and my man Joey Beats. You can catch me up at Snookers with Sneak Technique. Your boy App's doing good, hope I made y'all proud. Man, if Curdy Cut could only see me now. Saw Sturby at Jerky's, all my crew. At one point or another, rock RIU. Gotta say, if it wasn't for 90.3, your boy E might not even be an MC. Got so many friends from Prop to C-Town. Been so long, kinda hard to speak now. You know who you are, and you know where I keep you. Keep this in mind till the next time I see you. From every flow to every show, I feel the Narragansett breeze till my memory goes. Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Oh shit. Rhode Island. Rhode Island. My second home right there. Shout out to my people. Vertigo. CR. Joey Wonk. Shout out to Japan and Fed Hill. Time Machine. My man Mark, aka Bomb Drop. What up, K-Nux? What's up, Evil? Crisis. Shout out to my man Evoke One. He made the apathy logo, man. You know we go back. Shout out to Ryan Gummersaw, Sarah Engel. Yo, Blob, where you at, man? Big up to Johnny J and Turkeys, Earn Doe, Jada Pina, Sean Jackson, the Black Rep in the Met Cafe, Lupo's. There's a lot of spots, man. There's a lot of good memories for me.
Yo, congratulations to every one of them kids. I know I forgot a few, but we got more coming because it's still early in the season, man. Uncle Felix, thank you. Check him out on Rhode Island Ranked. Any last words?
Nope. just once again want to express how happy, how joyful I am to see all these kids going on to the next level. Keep working hard, get out there, get seen, and God bless.
I'm hyped. That video came out pretty
It
decent.
really did.
You know what I mean?
Who's that?
Definitely.
Who's that handsome kid going to Springfield?
I seen that. I'm not sure, man. I'm gonna try to match them rings.
Yeah.
Who has all the bling? Who has? I like his initials. Did I hear that right? His initials are in each ring.
His first name, middle name, and last name.
That's crazy. So he knew he was gonna win them all, huh?
Oh yeah, yep.
Because that would have screwed things up. You would have had to buy a couple rings. Well, congratulations to your boys. I see your boy playing rugby. He's going to Springfield. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Salute to you, Uncle Felix. Check him out, Rhode Island Ranked.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless.
All right, we out. All right, there goes Uncle Felix, man. Thank you for chopping it up with us. We want to talk about a few programs, stock drop. Boy, it's getting closer to the season. Yeah, big shout out to everybody that's holding it down. Let me see. Anything else? What's this? Let me see. They play for wins. Not everybody. The older coaches. They want to. Oh yeah, I can't play that because they keep hitting me with copyright strikes. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about a lot of quarterbacks out of here. But congratulations to all the players that committed to go play at the next level, and I know we still got more coming.
Nows, it was written in 96. Go to Yellows downtown to get my Nike kicks. Little roadies in my soul when I write these scripts. No matter where I go, I do it all out.